e finale ist Düsseldorf. Ranieri als Partner der 12-jährige Däne vom Romanov aus Italien, Valentina Italy.
The Valentina Trooper just waiting for the start signal from the judge at sea. So that bell now starts a countdown. Within 45 seconds of that bell, they must signal for their music to start. And then the music will naturally get them into the arena within the next limit, which is 20 seconds from when the music starts. Italian two-time Olympian Valentina Trooper with Ranieri by Romanov. Valentina was on the podium third at the World Cup finals back in 2012 with great horse Eremo del Castagno. She's been twice Young Rider European champion. She rode a lovely old horse called Chablis last year at the Rio Olympics, who came home. He was 19 at the Games and retired on his return to Europe. Valentina missed the Alpine Europeans back in 2015. She was injured. She actually took a kick to the face and she was in a coma for quite a lot of that season. So it's great to see her back at the very top. This horse stepped up to Grand Prix in 2015. Consistently over 70% in freestyle. And I'm going to be very interested to see this test today because on paper, for a 70% technical score, this is worth a 10 for a degree of difficulty.
Yeah, Valentina never want to shy away from difficulty in the arena, especially in the freestyle. She loves riding her freestyle tests. And this is where, as a personality, you turn to the judges and you say, okay, this is what I've got. This is what I'm sat on. Here you go. Look at me, and I'm going to show you what I can do. And definitely a change in music from the first two Italians that we saw. Doesn't have the best piaffe, unfortunately, at the moment. That's him a little bit more lift, a little more sit behind. And that's why it made the transition out of the piaffe into the passage so very difficult. He needs to sit behind. He looks a little bit weak behind, actually.
Invariably, also, the piaffe is going to degenerate when you turn it into piaffe pirouette. Yeah. So she's taking a big gamble, pirouetting a not established piaffe.
Absolutely, and that was very brave because with a horse with a little piaffe to do a pirouette, like you say, takes away, when you start doing the pirouette, takes away that power.
And we saw there in the counter pirouette where she rides to the double and the horse just kind of has to take that big step in the middle. Is that back to the same thing? Is that the hind end and the power and the strength?
Yeah, and again, you know, because of that, he's making mistakes in the canter work now as well. He just seems a little bit tense in there, a little bit weak behind the saddle, and not, as we've seen with some of the previous horses, hasn't got the sit that a lot of them have. She's very experienced. She's been with him a couple of years at this level, but she had a bit of time off, didn't she, as well?
Yeah. Actually, probably took up this horse's training upon her return in late 2015, so it's probably been pretty consistent with his development, but horses develop at different paces and speeds.
Yeah, they do, and to have a break and to come back, you mentioned that she's been scoring consistently in the 70s. I don't think this is going to quite get there, but we'll see what happens, whether she's going to throw some more difficult things into her test, but he's certainly not been on song with her the whole way from the beginning. Better in the ones, but she did the minimum amount of one-time changes, which is 9 for the freestyle. Again going for the... Well, she went to go for the double, then changed her mind. He stayed quite wide on that pirouette. One-time changes on the drifting line, so she is making it more difficult now. Coming back to the pirouette to the right, and I think he pirouettes to the right better than he pirouettes to the left. And a little bit like us, we're better one way than the other, and certainly he seems stronger and more able to sit on the right hind leg on that pirouette. Unusual little addition.
Yeah, the intention was, I think, you know, a 180-degree canter pirouette, a particle as it would be called, and she ended up having to drop down to ahead of the counter instead.
And clever, she's doing the piaffe again away, as far away from the judges as she can. She's not doing it as we've seen some of the combinations do it right in front of our judges. She's kept it away from them because it would be one of his weakest things. You see, he just doesn't sit and lift behind. And then when she starts to pirouette, he just sits on those hind feet, doesn't he lift them off the ground. Meandering her way down the centre line to complete her test.
And yet, in spite of all that, sitting on a 68% technical, we've got a 77 there in the degree of difficulty box at the moment, just showing what a challenge she'd laid down for herself and her horse here. And, you know, it's very different. Coming indoors, Valentina was the first ever Italian rider to win a leg of the Western European League when she won in Frankfurt a few years ago when the Festhallen Reitturnier was still on the circuit. But so she knows what she's up against, but it is a very different paradigm bringing a horse indoors to this high intensity. Even if all the seats aren't full, the pressure and the atmosphere in here would be quite unlike any previous show. So Ranieri, Valentina Trupper for Italy, completed their test, just working there to keep him steady, walk out of the ring, just reassuring the horse before she walked out of this big ring here at the Amadeus Horse Indoors at Salzburg. And here's the score for